Can I? Can you elaborate on as to what you think
I
people
just
should
want
be
to address
ungrateful
one thing
for?
first, Elori, with
Yeah,
him, because it's a YT talking points. And whenever
yeah.
people of color come and sport YT talking points, it is not ingratitude to call out racism where you
Thank
see,
you.
yeah? No
I
one
agree.
will
One good
I
question.
agree
always,
on that point. What I
yeah.
disagree with is calling an entire nation racist.
Where did you live before you moved to Ireland the past 4 or 5 years ago, as you
Uh,
claim?
the last
Because
four or
if you were
5 years
here,
I
you
lived
would
in
know how
Ireland.
long you were here.
So I lived in Ireland the last 4 or 5 years. I lived in France before that, and
Four
in
or
North Africa
five
before
years.
that. I think
4 or
France is a
5 years.
racist country. The government is racist. The people, most of them are racist. But Ireland, I don't think it is, and it is my personal opinion. I can be wrong. I can be right. So please, guy, correct me.
And as Cannon always say, come with the facts and data, because that's a personal opinion to perform over 4 years. And respect your opinion there, but you even made a personal judgment, say it's a small, tiny minority.
I
Well,
just
according to my personal experiences, yes, I don't have access to the stats. But yeah, as I said, I can be wrong. I can be right. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
I don't believe him at all, personally. He said 4 or 5 years. That's bullshit, because you'd know how long you were here, first of all.
So there's
And your
something that
accent
must be
just does
challenged
not.
here. Let's challenge a few myths. People often say that some BLK people do. If you have never experienced, because you all experience racism at some point, but sometimes it's very subtle, it's bilateral. I remember my first time in America, I was 16 years old, and I experienced racism, but I didn't know. It's when I became older, I started to reflect. These guys were making fun of me. They were calling me Leroy. They were making really laughing. And I was young. I didn't know. It was all fun. And when I got older, I realized that I was experiencing racism. Because you don't experience that open raw racism doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's not around you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
And sometimes we get into this false sense of reality, false sense of security, where we're in walking around and, oh, nobody's shouting at me, go home. Nobody's saying this. Oh, it must be fine. Yeah.
But when we say Ireland is a racist nation, are you saying like 100%, 90% of the Irish are racist? Like, what's your approximate
In my
percentage?
experience, when I speak of a country, I'm talking about the systems that have been put in place, not just to disadvantage one group of people, but also to make it difficult for a certain group of people want to access things like justice. Um, so, for example, if you say France, yeah, France has open racism. You go to certain parts of France, you will really see open antagonism. But also, France has a structural racism problem as well. And that's what we're saying. We've seen the evidence with Ireland. The EU has published reports in Ireland that Ireland has a structural problem in tackling racism, incidents of racism, hate speech, all that stuff. That. Yeah. So it's something that has to be deep dive into and look at all spectrum. It cannot be something, as my professor always say, it cannot be something personal that you say, oh, someone has never called me the N-word, so racism does exist.
I
Right,
understand
I
what
have
you
a
mean.
question for the group, just in general, and I want almost an opinion, but different opinions. Right. One of the things I saw in Ireland massively, I saw a lot of racism, but then I saw a lot of almost, this is going to sound backwards, but unintentional racism, where it's not because it's coming from a place of hate or disgust, but just a lack of education on other cultures, of a races, of a religion. That's a
That,
massive thing in Ireland.
that's called
Well, it's ignorance.
microaggressions. That's
Racism
called
comes from
microaggressions.
ignorance.
That's not a microaggression.
Racism
Sure,
comes from
okay. So since you know everything and you said we don't know anything about what we're talking about,
When
please
did
tell
I say
us.
we don't
Please
know?
tell us
Now
what a
you're
microaggression
projecting.
is. Since you know
That's not a
everything,
microprojection.
since you
Now
know
you're projecting.
everything, since you know
Now you're
everything,
projecting.
and nobody here knows anything about what they're talking about, please
No
tell
one
us.
said that.
Why are you
Please tell
No
shouting?
us.
one said
Oh, why are you
anything.
Please
shouting?
tell us.
No one said anything.
Please
Why are you
tell us.
shouting?
Don't.
Please tell
Why are
us.
you shouting? Why
Since
are
Why are you
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 shouting?
shouting?
know
No one said
everything,
anything like
since
that.
you know
Why are you
everything,
shouting?
you
He's
literally
No one
said,
said
you
anything about
literally
knowing
said,
everything. But it's not microaggression.
you.
But
Okay,
it's
this is
not. Why are you
this is
shouting?
why you get muted, and this is why you get dropped because you
Astral.
can't
Some of these
stop
black
interrupting.
Americans, or wherever
You
they're
want
from,
muted
they drink the
before.
Jim Jones Kool-Aid. I don't even get into a tussle with them. They're on another planet. Their brain is rotted out, man. Yeah? They look in the mirror and they try to convince themselves of another reality. Sometimes there's psychosis going on in their brains. You know, you look at yourself in the mirror and you see a complete facade reality, and they come on these things and they try to project those reality. Go seek a psychiatrist, man. I don't have time for that.
My friend, if I can just suggest something, maybe if you can adjust the prompt, because some Irish people are gonna read it and they're gonna think that they are being
No.
called racist,
Sorry,
and then
Zachariah.
it's okay.
To everybody, sorry, to
Zachariah,
No, it's
everybody who
okay.
is upset by the
Zachariah,
prompt,
you
to
wait
It's
everybody
fine.
who is upset by the prompt, I
you
need to
wait here
ask you
for
all
an
a
hour and you will
question.
see if they're racist. He's new to this. You wait and see. They'll soon come on. They'll they'll tell
Exactly.
you the most racist thing about your mom, your grandma, while at the same time screaming they're not racist.
But that's
You wait
punishable
and
by
see.
law. That's punishable by law. I can take a screen record, and if he's using his real
Good
name, I
luck
can
to that.
report him to
Zachariah,
to the
did you
police.
hear? I'm gonna ask you guys a question in a bit, but I just want to ask you: did you hear about the young BLK boy who was being racially assaulted outside of the Garda Center? Like a grown man was screaming at him, "N word, N word, N word," outside of the Garda Center. Did you hear about that,
I think I
Zachariah?
heard. I heard about that, and I think the person who did this should rot in jail forever.
Do
But
you,
I
do,
don't.
do you think that they are actually in jail? Because they're
I
not.
hope. I don't know, but I
No,
hope
they're
they are.
not.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're not in jail. Then the investigation is ongoing. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Ireland is a racist nation. And I want to ask you, what do you care about more? Do you care about more about the feelings of Irish people who are going to read this title and be so upset?
Upset.
Or do you care about the migrants and the asylum seekers that are actually experiencing racism on a daily basis and it needs to be addressed? What do you care about more? What do you think is more important?
I truly care about both, and it's not the feelings
No,
of
Said
the
you
you
don't.
can't.
Irish.
That's rubbish.
I don't care about
That's
feelings. I'm sorry. I
nonsense.
care about people's
That
lives.
is
I don't care
nonsense.
about Irish people's feelings. I care about people's lives.
I don't
So
care
that's
about
You
maybe
their
care
why we're
about the
having a
feelings.
feelings of
disconnect.
someone rather than social justice. You care about the feelings of someone rather than social justice.
That's giving
Are you
all
for
lives
Can
real?
I
matter.
can I give
That's
an
giving all
example?
lives
Can
matter.
I give an example?
Are you for real? Are
Can I
you
give
that suffering from that Stockholm syndrome, that colonial mentality,
can I
that you
give an
feel
example?
guilty in your mind? You feel ashamed and bad because whitey people are feeling poor me and bad?
Oh
That
my
you feel
God, they
bad?
called me
Seriously?
racist. Oh God.
I no. Let me rephrase. Let me
Yeah, man,
rephrase.
go and get some dignity.
I think I
As
think
in,
I think all kinds of hate speech are illegal, whether it's against Africans
It's
like
not in
myself or
Ireland
like
because the
yourselves,
EU
or
gave
against
Ireland
It
2 months to
shouldn't be
make their hate
illegal.
speech laws. It's not in Ireland.
Free speech shouldn't be legalized, even though some forms of free speech is terrible and horrendous, as long as the person's not actually going to use that to then attack someone with hands or anything. You can say what you want.
This
No,
guy,
you can't say
That's
what you
wrong.
want.
That's
And I
wrong.
will,
Yes, you
excuse
can.
me, excuse me, excuse
Are
me.
you
You
gonna
can't say
do
what
it?
you want. You can't say what you
Okay.
want. And